everyone, so today I'm going to do another Father's Day card. This is a design I'm hoping to vaguely achieve. I thought there was just enough time to get another Father's Day card in before the actual day this Saturday. So I've already cut quite a few of these papers to size, and I'm just going to have to do a little bit of trimming, but essentially they're about the right size. So I'm just using my Fiskars scallop border punch to punch out just a really thin border in this pinky red pattern paper. It's not strictly masculine, but I think there's so little of it you can't really tell that it's flowers, and it breaks up all the green quite nicely on the card, so I went ahead and did it anyway and used this colour. And here I'm just sticking it to a sort of rainbow polka dot piece. It's from the same set. It's the Laundry Line collection by My Mind's Eye, and it's a definite favourite paper collection of mine. I use it quite a lot, so it's good to make use of, even though this is a masculine card and they're quite feminine papers. I hope this works well enough for this card anyway. So I'm just sort of lining everything up and making sure I know where I want it to go. I realise in retrospect I should have just stuck the green bit of cardstock down to this bit and then stuck the whole thing to the card base, but I do sometimes like to make my life difficult, so I went ahead and did it this way. And I'm just sticking this green bit along there, and you can see that red strip, the scallop strip, is so small now that you would never tell there's flowers on it, so it works as a masculine card. And here I'm just lining up my vellum cardstock. I made a bit of a boo-boo. I was supposed to put this on first before I stuck anything else down, because this card is actually inspired by a recent card by Christina Werner. But I went ahead and rushed it and didn't do it in the right order, so I kind of figured out a way around it later on in the video, so I'll talk you through that. I do find that corner chomping vellum is quite difficult with that corner chomper. I think it's just a bit too thin, but anyhow. I've just put a small line of adhesive just along that bottom left hand side where I know it's not going to show, and to hold the rest of the vellum down I'm just going to use a couple of brads. These are Dovecraft brads. They're really small. They're 1/8 inch brads, or 3mm, depending on which part of the world you're from. And I've just used a couple of these in the same sort of craft colour I've used as the craft cardstock for the base card. And this is the stamp I used in one of my previous videos. It says Happy Mother's Day, and I thought I'd just reuse it for Father's Day by chopping the mother out of it. Hope you don't mind, Mum, sorry. So yeah, I've just got this happy day, and I'm going to sketch fathers, just handwrite it on there. It doesn't really matter. If I'd have messed up the stamp, I could have redone it, because they're homemade stamps using the image pack kit that I've talked about before, so I wasn't too worried. Anyway, I'm just lining up on my bit of green cardstock that I'm going to use as the card topper, and I'm making sure they're kind of right aligned, and then just pressing my block over it so I know they're exactly where I want them to be on this block. And I'm using my fresh new juicy Colourbox chalk ink, and actually it's a little bit too juicy at the moment because the ink kind of splodged a little bit, but I think it's because the stamps are they're quite blocky stamps anyway, but it looked fine. So, and here I'm just using a pencil to sketch out that word fathers. I'm doing it kind of cursive joined up, and I didn't want to just go head straight in with the white gel pen, and I'm glad I didn't, because I sketched it and scribbed it out a few times until I was happy with it. And now I'm just preparing this to go on there, just corner chomping those two corners, and I'm using a bit of twine here. This is just upholsterer's twine in the sort of natural colour as it comes, and I've just wrapped it around a couple of times and then tied it into a bow, and then just fiddle with it until I was happy with the placing of the bow. And yeah, the card is very nearly done now, so I've just stuck on my 3D stickers, and I'm going to adhere this down to the front of the card to the left hand side, not quite in the middle, just to give it a bit of interest. And here, to frame that vellum, because it started looking a little bit sad, kind of just this craft cardstock with a pale vellum over it, I've gone around it with some faux stitching just to sort of frame it a little bit more. And then I'm going to use another idea that I saw from another of Christina's designs. So here I'm just using some stickles. and I'm actually using them to stick that bottom right hand side of the vellum down to the cardstock, and once this dries it should dry like glue and it should hold that corner in place without it looking like I've glued it. So I hope you enjoyed today's card, and I'll be back soon with another. Happy Father's Day in the UK, everyone. Bye!